Okay, so just bear with me on this one. I'm a little bit tired. It's after a lesson today. It's the 5th of the 9th, 2015. So today I had a bit of difficulty with turning, just keeping the rear of the vehicle or the trailer enough of a distance away from the curb so that I wouldn't have hit any cars that are usually parked there during the week. So I'm there on Saturday, no one's working, it's an industrial area, there's not many cars parked around the place, but it probably would have been a different story if I'd had my lessons during the week. So it's just, they're fairly tight roads, and it's just sort of, you know, swinging far enough out, then bringing the truck in quickly enough so that you don't go over the line, and then it's that turn back out that swings the trailer, so you're able to get the trailer away from the curb going, say you're turning left. That's the opposite in the USA or Canada. So just things like, you know, the entrance into a corner, the angles, getting my mind around the workings and dimensions of the truck, that you know, will come in time, but it is a bit of a challenge. You know, it does make you think twice, or it gives you an insight into the skill that's developed over time that large truck drivers develop. You know, if you're a large truck driver, it probably seems easier to you, but I'm the same as you. You had to learn, and that's what I'm going through at the moment. So yeah, turning right, which would be turning left in the USA or Canada. Turning right is easier, I found. There's just more room and to look around at your trailer. But left turns I found were a bit harder than right turns. Of course, right turns you're turning onto the other side of the road, which gives you more room. Left turns you have to watch out for that curb that you've got to get the trailer away from. Another issue, another problem I had was forgetting gears. I've got a 5-speed gearbox in my car, but the top and the low range, you know, if you got an instructor saying, right, go to 8th, go to 5th, go to 3rd, go to 7th, you have to think now, where is that in the confusion of the time? You think, you know, where is that gear? And to be honest, I couldn't always just instantly know where that gear was, so I had to sort of go 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 and actually pinpoint that gear. So in other words, it's not absolutely just instant yet at this stage of the game. Another problem I had was keeping the truck straight before turning. You know, the driving instructor would say for instance, turn left, and I'd be concentrating way up ahead on the corner, and meanwhile my truck would be wandering a bit, and he had to correct me a few times there. So when I'm turning right or left, coming up to the T intersection, I have to keep my truck straight and in the middle of the road. No doubt that's the reason for that is because eventually I'll get out in the open road. The lanes here where I live are only the width of a truck, and that's why he's getting me used to keeping the truck straight and within the lines. I got tired today during the 2 hours of instruction. The instructor wanted to book me in for 3 hours next week. I told him I didn't think that would be a very good idea, because I did get tired after 2 hours of instructions. It's a lot to take on board, a lot to learn, a lot to get used to. So I told him I'd rather just have the 2-hour lesson. Yeah, so I did wander outside of the line, dividing lines sometimes, and I haven't as yet, I haven't split any gears, so I suppose that'll be later on when I get out in the open road, and I can get it anywhere near to 80 kilometres an hour. Then I can go to 8th and start splitting gears, so that'll be another thing to learn. So yeah, as I've said before, I could step change, say for instance from say 2nd to 4th going down a hill, from 7th to 5th, and that type of step change. As I said before, the instructor said I was ahead of where I should be, considering I hadn't driven a truck and trailer before. So that's good to hear. It's encouraging. I'd say, to be honest with myself, I have to say that it is going to cost a fair amount of money to get the time behind the wheel to be able to drive a truck and a trailer. I'm not really sure how it's going to go. Maybe I can get, I'm hoping I can get a job with a company, say a big Australian company starting with L, and maybe I can drive small trucks while I find out where all the depots are and the places, and work my way up, having already done those roads, or I've found the right routes to the depots. I suppose what I'm trying to say is my nightmare is just all these years driving and trying to prepare for a safe time on the road, and just one day it coming to, right, we've got no one, I want you to jump in a big truck and take it to wherever. I'm trying everything I can to avoid that situation. I've stuck it out at my job for two reasons. Number one, I know the city I live is a very complicated city. It's not easy to drive around. It's full of one-way turns and that type of thing. And I'm just sticking with the job I've got, giving it time, doing the occasional run out to places I don't know in this city. So that's part of the reason why I've got the brakes on a bit, and people want experience before they give you another job. So I think I'm taking the right approach by not trying to jump in a huge, great big truck and drive it. As I've said in the previous videos, I'm not from this city, and I don't know the roads as well as somebody who would have grown up here. Yeah, today I did a lot of turns. I covered a fair amount of ground today in the truck. All sorts of turns, left hook turns, right hook turns, and I covered a lot of ground and got a lot out of it. $150 an hour, so it's $250 today. So that's 4 hours. So that's $1,000 already. Oh, I beg your pardon, that's not right. It's $500. So it's 150. 4 times 150 is $500. So 150 times 2 is 250, and 250 is 500. Yeah, $500 so far. Alright, so I beg your pardon on that one, and what I'll do next is I'll show you the truck I drove today. It's on the website. Okay, so that's it there. He tells me it's a 600 horsepower Mack. That's the configuration I drove it today, with the trailer on the back. The first lesson was with the A trailer of a B double. So that's the truck there. It's a fairly large truck. Seems fairly wide. The cab is as wide as the trailer.